Welcome to the Wasted Local Fantasy Football Podcast.
Oh my gosh.
I am your host, obviously, Daniel, with my co-host, Josiah.
The eventual winner of this fantasy football league this year, coming up soon.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll let you decide
I did
after
not-
we go over what's going on.
Did not finish dead last this year.
Yet.
So some of you may be confused because this is the Wasted Local Talent podcast, and we obviously have no talent. So, but a lot of people say they really like us, and I don't understand it.
I think they just say that to make us
I'm on
feel
Gurus
good.
of Gaming. I'm on different things. Some of our Patreon content from D&D Kinda, where it's just kind of shooting the breeze and just our personalities. So here we are, us and a bunch of people that are part of 13 Palm Trees. And I guess if you like us, or you might actually hate us, but here you get a little window into our lives.
Yeah.
The league.
Yeah, and if you listen to last fall's Wasted episodes, you'd hear Jed and I kind of go back and forth a little bit about fantasy football, and we've discussed it a little bit over the year about doing our own 13 Palm Trees fantasy football podcast. Now, we wanted to do it as its own podcast, but we wanted to test the waters first to see how
If you
works.
like it, let us know. If you hate it, keep it to yourselves.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
And this isn't a fantasy football podcast. This is a podcast about our personal fantasy football league. So our opinions, whatever. We're not affiliated with the NFL at all. We're just doing this for fun. So
And unless you're me, your opinion's probably wrong. So there's that.
again,
But
we'll
like I
see.
said, I will win. I did not finish last place last year. Yes, I did. But
yes, you did.
we have reasons for that.
Yeah, and you'll hear about that later in the episode. So
Yeah.
basically, we've been doing this fantasy football league for 3 years now. The league's name is called You Madden Bro? ? So You Madden Bro? So that's better.
It's a play on words.
Yes. So John Madden. So I'm going to go ahead and just go over kind of the teams and their owners. That way you kind of get a little bit familiar with them.
Yes.
Because at the end of this episode, we're gonna be given draft grades on our drafts. That was actually recorded live directly after the draft. We were going to actually bring you the full draft in this episode, but
That was an absolute
gosh.
train wreck.
please turn your phones to silent.
My phone went off. I'm sorry.
So it didn't go exactly how we planned. We're still going to post it, but this episode is going to be more of a rundown.
And it wasn't entirely Jess's fault, but it was
entirely Jess's fault.
Jess's fault. Sorry, Jess, you suck. But that's the way it is.
So league members. So basically, I'm going to go over who they are. I'm not going to go who they are. I'm just going to go over their names and their team name. The godfather of 13 Palm Trees, Michael Bonner, with the Chosen One. That is his team.
Yes, he spells it weird because it's some kind of video game reference.
Yeah, I think it's a Metroid reference. I
Yeah,
think.
probably. That would make sense.
So Michael, the first 2 years that we had this league, won 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So
And he never shuts up about it.
yeah. Next, we have my older brother, Nathan.
He's like the Duck Dynasty. They have the older brother that's never on the TV show. That's Nathan.
Yep. He's been in some of our Patreon content for D&D Kinda.
Yeah.
He was going to be here today, but he had a birthday party to go to. So
Happy
you'll hear from
birthday.
him later in the year. His team, the Wrath of Quan, because he got first draft pick.
Saquon.
So he got Saquon.
And it's another kind of reference to Star Wars, I think. But
I think it's Star Trek.
what's the difference?
All right, we'll see you guys later. All right, then next we have the illustrious Josh Hall with Team King Dingus, which fits him perfectly.
Yeah, perfectly, because that's what he is.
Because he set himself to auto draft, and it shows.
Yes.
Number 4 in the league is myself at Hover Round Genocide, because I'm old.
Yeah.
And we'll just go right to the next one, who is Josiah.
Yeah.
With unsolicited Dak picks. Now, Dak picks, P-I-C-K-S, as in Dak interceptions.
Yes. So,
Not pictures
completely
of Dak
PG
Prescott. Which Dak Prescott's not a horrible looking dude.
I mean, he's not good at throwing the ball, but
All right, and next we have Jedediah Flesher with Bald Bear Fighter. Last year, Jed won under the name Team Super Serial, so he decided to change his name this year. So yeah, it's Jed with Bald Bear Fighter. Next, we have TPRS. That is Roger Harper.
Who's the Gurus of Gaming guy.
Yeah.
13 Palm Trees.
Yeah, the loud one. Next, we have the other loud one, Jessica Flesher, who is Jed's wife.
Yeah. She's not associated with 13 Palm Trees. She's kind of married in, but I guess we don't tolerate her.
She's been on Wasted before.
Sometimes she brings food.
Yeah.
So
sometimes.
Her
team name is Team Hairless.
Yes, because Jed
obviously.
is her husband.
Yes. And then we have Brittany Bonner. That's so weird to say. They've been married for a week. It's so weird to say, but
congratulations, though.
Yeah.
And
sorry at the same time.
He definitely won the lottery there. So
yeah, he did.
She's the Saquon Barkley of women.
And her team name is Mindflayer Bonner. And then last and definitely least, Bruce Richards.
Oh, I forgot about Bruce.
Yeah. VA Chalupa Batman. So if you watch the league, you know where that comes from.
Good friend Lyndon Yoder moved away and completely just cut everybody off. Screw you, Lyndon, if you're listening. So we had a spot to fill, and Bruce was like, I know all about football.
I don't think he's ever watched a game before in his life.
I don't know if he has or not, but if he wins, this might be my last season. Screw you, Bruce.
Watching or looking at his team after the draft, it looks like he really knew what he was doing. I think it's just the rest of us were so distracted and trying to get the good players that somehow he snuck in there and just, wide receiver wise. We'll go over that in a little bit. So yeah, that's the rundown of the teams and who's in the league. And
pick a favorite team and cheer for us.
Yes. We want to hear from you on the Wasted Local Talent page. Who you think is going to win? We're going to be giving weekly predictions and weekly updates, obviously winners, losers, standings in the league and everything. So it'll be every Tuesday. And you want to go over the draft now?
Sure.
Since the draft kind of didn't go that well.
Well, I feel like my draft went well, but listening to people's commentary on it did not.
Yeah.
Jess's fault.
Yeah. So what we tried to do was, as people were picking,
we did it live.
We were trying to go over each pick and everything, kind of like, the NFL draft. But that didn't work out because nobody would be quiet. So,
well, to be fair, we had not a lot of time to talk about things that were going on because sometimes picks would go back to back to back, and then we would get to Josh's pick, and we'd have like a half hour to twiddle our thumbs while his pick went through.
So I figure instead of going over all 16 rounds, we can go over the first maybe 5 rounds.
Okay.
It's kind of like the important part. So we'll start. Obviously, number 1 went to Nathan, the Wrath of Quan, Saquon Barkley. Number 2.
Good pick.
Number 2, I took Christian McCaffrey, and that was kind of a difficult pick for me.
A shocker, really.
Yeah. Everybody thought Kamara, and my love for Ezekiel Elliott, they thought that might be my pick, but
yeah, for the Cowboys.
I have my reasons for that. Number 3 to Josiah, Alvin Kamara.
Which I was ecstatic to get that late.
Yeah. Then we've got Michael, the chosen one, with Todd Gurley, which was kind of a shocker too.
I thought he did not want Zeke, so
yeah,
I thought he might have gone Hopkins there, but he went with maybe the best running back left that wasn't Zeke.
Yeah.
So.
And then number 5, we have Juju Smith-Schuster to Brittany Mindflayer Bonner, which was just way
Shocker.
out of left field. Way out of left field.
I thought I was going to get him in the second round.
Yeah. I thought he was going to last a little bit longer. He was actually going to be my second round pick. Then we've got Jess with Le'Veon Bell.
I hope he sucks.
Which was a little... it's Jess, so it's not a surprise. I'm surprised she didn't pick a kicker.
Yeah.
And then we've got TPRS Roger with DeAndre Hopkins, which was a solid first round pick. After those running backs were gone, solid
Who are you going to get? Yeah.
Yeah. Then we've got the Josh with his auto draft of Ezekiel Elliott because he was the number 1 pick left on the board.
Which I think he got paid today, so...
I haven't heard anything yet.
It depends.
I think he'll be starting week 1. I don't think they're going to let it go.
If he plays the full season, that's the best pick in the draft at number 8. Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, that's a solid pick. And then way out of left field, which is not really a surprise from Jed, with Patrick Mahomes at number 9.
We all, right before the draft, were like, we know who you're taking. Yeah. He's like, no, man, I'm not taking Aaron Rodgers. And we're like, okay, but you're taking Pat Mahomes. And he's like, no, 0 chance. But I think, back to Zeke right before that, everyone saw one of the reasons I finished last year. It's because I took Le'Veon Bell in the first round, and he sat out the full year.
And then you took?
Well, I took Jerick McKinnon in the third round, and he
still.
immediately just jumped off a bridge or something. I don't know.
Tore his ACL.
But I think everyone just was like, I do not want to finish last. So they didn't want to take Zeke, even though he's such a good pick. So, and then Patrick Mahomes, of course.
I mean, it's not surprising, but
he's the number one projected points scorer.
Yeah, but they're all based off of last year's, which you can't really base everything off of last year. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be the best quarterback. I don't think he's worth a first-round pick, though. I think you kind of screw yourself on wide receivers or running backs that way.
It depends on how you want to build your team, and he wants to get as many number one projections as he can. He even mentioned that.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
There you go.
And, I mean, he's made it to the finals every year, so
something's
good for
working.
him. Yeah. Then last in the first round, we have Bruce Chalupa Batman with Devontae Adams, which, that's a solid pick. And on to round 2.
He picked Julio Jones.
He picked Julio Jones right after that. So, bam, bam, Devontae Adams, Julio Jones.
So that's the number 2 and 3 receiver, because I think the only guy,
other
Hopkins was
the number 1 receiver.
So, I mean, who's he going to pick?
Yeah.
Right there. So,
solid.
Yeah.
And then this is where we kind of find out what Jed's strategy was.
Yes.
Tight end, round 2.
The number 1
Travis
projected
Kelce.
tight end.
So,
and with Patrick Mahomes, he's either going to get 0 points or with Mahomes to Kelce, he's going to get like 75 points in a game, just like from them hooking up.
Yeah, and I have to play him week 1. We'll get to that, but I got to play him week 1. Anyway, then we've got Josh again on his
We pushed the draft back a half hour because Sloan was awake, and Sloan is the baby, and she was crying. So
we could have just had her draft for Josh, and she would have done
probably. Better. So we're
talking shit, and Josh is probably going to beat us all.
I know, but we pushed it back, and Josh still like an hour into the draft was like, "Oh my gosh, I ran out of tome." He spelled time wrong in the group chat.
Josh at number 3 in round 2 took David Johnson,
who is not a horrible pick if he can even produce 75% of what he did the year he was healthy.
Yeah,
but
you got a holdout concern and an injury-prone running back. It's like
behind what offensive line?
Exactly. That's tough.
It's a risky pick, but also
it could pay off.
I mean, he was the number 1 fantasy back only like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. So maybe the best pick of the second round.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah.
Other than that Julio Jones and Travis Kelce pick, I'm still kind of upset about that. Next we have TPRS Roger with Tyreek Hill.
Okay. 2 receivers right off the bat. Big points.
And we've got Jess with Michael Thomas, which I'm very upset about.
Yeah, I think she just, she didn't know any better.
No. And then I don't understand if Brittany's just smart.
She's brilliant. She's the smartest person I know.
Well, I mean, about the draft. I mean, she is a very smart person, but number 6 in round 2, Deshaun Watson.
She's calling something there. And then they just traded for Kenny Stills. Now they have 3 really good receivers, and they got another offensive lineman. So she predicted the future.
Because now they've got Carlos Hyde at running back now.
So we drafted this before all of that happened, and now Deshaun Watson is
more protected,
right up there with Mahomes.
More weapons.
More protected, more weapons, better running game. Brittany is a wizard.
Yes. Then we have number 7, Keenan Allen to Michael.
His exact words were, "I'm getting tired of this guy beating me." Because the first year he played was the year Keenan Allen sat out the whole year. The second year, Keenan Allen beat him. He was
single-handedly.
He's like, "This guy's on everybody's team. I don't understand it." So he's like, "Well, if you can't beat him, join him."
And next we've got Josiah with Nick Chubb from Cleveland.
Yes, I knew that you or Nathan were going to pick a running back, and I felt like he was the highest end running back left.
Yeah, after Thomas and Keenan Allen actually went, Nick Chubb was my next pick.
And I knew that neither of you would pick tight end, so I got tight end on the swing back.
Yeah, so I went out on a limb and I'm still. This is my
limb.
my least confident pick of the draft, and that's with Odell Beckham Jr. Second round. I'm still worried about it. I honestly, if I should have taken Landry, I think he's going to be a better receiver for Cleveland.
I think that it's not going to be his talent level. It's going to be there's like 15 different people there that they're trying to spread the offense to. So even if he does well, he might only get 4 or 5 looks a game. Mm-hmm. He might score 2 touchdowns, but that's to be determined. The Browns win the offseason every year and then suck every year.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see.
And they've got a tough schedule. They've got a hard schedule. All right, number 10 in round 2. So the last pick of round 2, we've got Mike Evans to Nathan, which is a solid pick.
Yeah.
Mike Evans is he can be good.
he's one of those receivers where you're like, I want to pick him, but he plays for such a bad team that it's a risky pick just based on 1 week he's going to catch 3 touchdowns. The next week he's not going to score a single point because they get shut out. So
but they've got the quarterback whisperer down there now.
Yeah, but he's whispering to like a fence post.
True. Good luck. True. Who was back and forth with Fitzpatrick last year, even after his suspension was over. Jameis Winston. Bruh. If I was as talented as you, I'd have a Super Bowl. But good luck. All right, on to round 3. Yeah, let's just go through 4 rounds. I don't want to bore everybody.
Yeah, first 4 picks. I'm sure most of you people have already turned us off. Yeah. But hey, listen to us next when we drop some local talent.
Yes.
This is the wasted local not talent.
Yes. All right, round 3, number 1 pick to Nathan, the Wrath of Quan, was James Conner.
Who, personally, is on my favorite team, and I just absolutely cannot stand James Conner. But good fantasy pickup because he's going to get 1,200 yards this year. Mm-hmm. He's going to definitely lose the game for you in the fourth quarter by fumbling or just not being able to get past the offensive line. Mm-hmm. But, hey, fantasy points.
That's all that matters. And then I was surprised with who was next and who was still on the board with Dalvin Cook, who I think is going to have a career year.
I thought about picking him where I picked Nick Chubb, but he burned me before because I picked him high and he got hurt. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go with Chubb because I think he's more durable, even though he has injury concerns as well. But Dalvin Cook, great pick.
Then this is where Josiah decides to reach out and grab the number 2 tight end, Zach Ertz.
Well, after Zach Ertz, who you got? So that's...
I mean, yeah, you're right.
I definitely reached for him, but
round
also...
3 is really not that high to get him.
He's probably like a 5th round pick, but
okay, so I always think of the fantasy football draft like I'm drafting with people that do a lot of research beforehand and would draft like I do. But you come into our fantasy football league with people like Jess who just go. I'm still on the fence about Brittany. I think that she knows more than she leads on.
She's a secretive little B word.
Yeah, and
Brittany.
Then you've got people like Jed who just draft all over the place. You can never, you don't know when Jed's going to draft anybody, so you can't ever predict like, is this person going to be there or not? So like, I don't see tight ends going in round 1 or 2. 3, I can see it, but it's so hard to draft.
Well,
in this league.
The reason I picked Ertz is because he's a touchdown a game, 8 targets kind of game, and then like I said, after that, then. I think of it as a plus or minus thing where he's going to add 7-ish points to my tight end position as opposed to the 3rd tight end who's George Kittle, or after George Kittle, who else? So I always try to think. That's why I like to pick running back first over quarterback, because even though Patrick Mahomes might score 40 points a week, I can pick up Phillip Rivers. He'll get me 30 points a week, and I can pick him up in the last round, and I did. So I feel like the plus or minus on the position is what makes the draft. And everyone has their own fantasy look, and I think that mine is right, and I'm going to prove it.
You've tried for 3 years.
Gosh. That's why I'm glad that Josh was auto-picked.
Yeah.
Because Ezekiel Elliott, Antonio Brown, Melvin Gordon, all guys that he got, I was like, I might pick them if they're still there. Mm-hmm. No, he saved me from myself. Or he might just beat everybody. Who knows?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. So, Zach Ertz at number 3, round 3. And then Michael swooped in and snags Amari Cooper. which the Dallas offense, their wide receiver core, I mean, not just from a Dallas Cowboys fans perspective, but I was thinking about this earlier in the day today, that it's gone to, like, there's not one person in that receiving core that has been there longer than a year.
Yeah. They have
Allen Hurns is gone. Dak Prescott's gone. Cole Beasley's gone. Jason Witten's back.
Ish.
We'll
see. Hopefully he doesn't give commentary during the game.
Please, God, no. But yeah, you've got Amari Cooper. You've got Randall Cobb, Michael Gallup. I mean,
they got a lot to figure out.
Yeah.
But Amari Cooper, first-round pick back in whatever year he was drafted. And
he did save our season last year, though.
He led the league in drops when he played for the Raiders. That's another reason why I don't think Antonio Brown's going to be good.
It's because you got Derek Carr back.
The Raiders that's where receivers go to die.
Yes.
And so Amari Cooper, if he can keep up what he did at the end of last season, good pick.
All right, let's just hammer these next ones out here real quick.
Rapid fire.
Yep. Number 5, round 3, Joe Mixon to Brittany.
Hate that guy.
Derrick Henry to Jess.
Gets better as the season goes.
Yep. He's a 1 or 2 game type of.
He'll win you a playoff game.
Maybe. Devontae Freeman to TPRS, which I'm still not. I don't like Devontae Freeman even in round 3. He's been injured.
Falcons running backs are not fantasy running backs.
No. You got Antonio Brown to Josh.
LOL.
Auto draft. LOL. Aaron Jones to Jed. I feel like that pick was just because he's a Green Bay fan.
Aaron Jones can be good.
Yeah.
But that's another Green Bay situation where they could put anybody at running back and they'd be okay, but they're never going to be the top 10 running back in the league.
Yeah, they're not a run-first team. And you've got a new coach. It's hard to tell what they're going to do up there.
Who knows?
Then we've got Leonard Fournette, which is another just who's been just a letdown since he's entered the league.
His entire career.
Yep. All right, on to round 4. Julian Edelman to Bruce. So you got Leonard Fournette, then
I
Julian
think
Edelman.
Bruce probably watches whatever reality TV show he's on.
Probably.
And there you go.
I know that guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then surprise Brandon Cooks. Not a surprise in round 4, but
I was surprised he was still there.
Yeah, I'm surprised he was still there too. And then we've got Kerryon Johnson to Dingus Josh,
who could be great.
Yeah. And then TPRS, Sony Michel out of New England.
Patriots running backs are another thing where Sony Michel will score 50 points one week and then not play at all the next week.
Yep.
So who knows?
Then we've got Jess with Josh Jacobs from the Raiders, running back.
Rookie this year.
Yep.
Risky pick.
We'll see. Chris Carson, Seattle's running back to. Now he did well last year, but
they have been in running back limbo ever since Marshawn Lynch left. So, I mean, they're trying, but who knows? Carson is supposed to be the guy.
Yep. We will see. He did okay last year. I had him on my fantasy team last year, and he got me into the playoffs. So we'll see. Then number 7, George Kittle, tight end, San Francisco to Michael.
Homer pick.
Yeah.
But again, who's after him?
I mean, he set tight end all-time records last year, but he was also the dump-off guy to a backup quarterback. So it's hard to tell with Garoppolo back there.
He might be the most talented person in the league physically, but I mean, not a great team. So it depends. They added a bunch of new pieces. Maybe they'll be good this year, but I feel like Kittle's the best option on that team.
Yep. Then we've got your pick, Josiah, with Adam Thielen, who was a fantasy beast last year.
He's a fantasy beast every year, and
he fell off towards the end of the year.
Well, he did get dinged up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think it's where Thielen and Diggs are such a good 1-2 combo, and then Dalvin Cook is back. And then, I mean, you have a solid tight end, but I don't know. I think Thielen's going to pop off this year. Hopefully. They've got a year under their belt with the quarterback. So
yeah, for your sake.
I hope. I need it.
And then I've got number 9 in round 4. I took Robert Woods, who was number 10 overall in fantasy last year.
I was going to pick him on the way back through in the 5th round.
And then last of round 4, we get Nathan with T.Y. Hilton with Jacoby Brissett now under center.
I know that still hurts you. I don't know why you were. I
was okay. So I was
figured it out.
so excited to see last year, like I'm not a Colts fan, didn't follow Andrew Luck before he entered the league, but all the talk and back and forth of him being healthy and not healthy. Then he was healthy last year. They made it to the playoffs. And
10 out of their last 11 games, they won.
Yeah, and they blew us out of the water. Shit. And I was just really excited to see what he could do. And then I understand with the injuries and stuff. And it was partially drunk. I was already emotional because my brother just got married, and then Andrew Luck retired, and it was just like, I don't know what to do with my life.
I was thinking about it, and I was trying to think how many people you remember getting drafted that have retired. And so this is maybe your first quarterback that you've seen all the way through from draft day to retirement. And you're like, wow, I'm old.
That too.
So
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Like, besides that, all the other quarterbacks, like Drew Brees and stuff, they're about to retire, but you don't remember when they were drafted. So I feel like this hurt you just on your old level.
It did. And I like Andrew Luck. I think he's a great person, and he's a good person on the field.
West Virginia ties.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he didn't go to WVU, so suck it. I don't care. But who knows?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was
4 rounds. You're probably bored by now. Or if you love football, I mean, you can look at our team list. We might post all those. Yeah,
we can post a full team listing on the Wasted page. It's just facebook.com/wastedlocaltalent. We'll throw that up there. I just posted a team list today, and then I can do individual team lists. Okay, so do you want to go ahead and get into the week 1 matchups now, Josiah?
I guess, because I'm definitely going to beat whoever I'm playing. Let me look.
Mm-hmm. Now, after this episode, we're going to get into draft grades. We did do matchup thingy too, but it really didn't turn out too well. So we're going to go and just run over this week's week 1 matchups. And after this week, each episode will be just more of
it'll be shorter,
kind of a rundown, who won, number 1 in the league, scoring, shit like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and go with week 1 matchups. So I'm going to go just right down the list here. Top of the list is myself versus Jed.
Yes.
Now,
so Lamar Jackson versus Pat Mahomes. Jed has the quarterback advantage.
Mm-hmm. Now, Lamar Jackson, it's either Lamar Jackson or Matt Ryan, but Jackson is playing against the Dolphins. So I think I'm going to start him for that reason alone.
All right. And then you have McCaffrey and Cook versus Aaron Jones and Kenyon Drake. So you definitely have the running back advantage. Mm-hmm. You probably even on the receivers. Odell Beckham Jr. and Robert Woods versus Brandon Cooks and Tyler Lockett. I would say even. Then he has the advantage, Kelsey versus Jared Cook.
Oh, hands down. Yeah.
Duke Johnson Jr. versus Josh Gordon. You're actually projected the same amount of points there, but
I'm still not sure on my flex. I'm not sure if I want to start
you have a few different
Gordon
options there.
I've got Watkins. I've got Calvin Ridley. I've got a few people on my bench that I could swap out. I'm still not sure. Michael Gallup against the Giants. I mean, there's potential there for a swap. So,
and then Jed has Chicago and Zerline, who are both projected number 1, and so as far as points go, I think he's got you beat, even though you're projected to win.
Yeah. I mean, it could go either way. The Bears defense projected number 1, new defensive coordinator. It's really hard to tell. There's talent there.
They're loaded.
They're loaded. So, it could be good. They're also playing Aaron Rodgers, but new head coach. That's a toss-up. Last year, first game, the Bears destroyed them in the first half.
Khalil Mack might eat Aaron Rodgers
he might
alive.
Yeah. So
Jed said that he wants Aaron Rodgers to actually sit out this game because he does not want him hurt for the full season.
Yep. He's like, we'll take that loss. Okay.
Drink break. There we go.
There we go. All right. On to the next matchup. We have Mind Flayer Bonner, which is Brittany, versus Team King Dingus, Josh. So you've got Brittany's Deshaun Watson versus Mitchell Trubisky, which Deshaun Watson, even against New Orleans.
Trubisky's like low-key could pop off, but he's also the guy that could throw 4 interceptions in a game.
Yeah.
So Deshaun Watson probably, but don't sleep on Trubisky.
That's true. Joe Mixon and Chris Carson versus Elliott and David Johnson. Now, I don't know if Josh has really messed with his lineup at all. We'll see if Elliott plays. But
if they play, he's going to blow her out of the water.
Yeah. Then we've got Juju Smith-Schuster and Alshon Jeffrey versus Josh's Antonio Brown and Stephon Diggs.
So it'll be fun to see Smith-Schuster versus Brown, like right there in the first game.
Yep.
And Juju's going to absolutely crush Antonio Brown, hopefully, because go Steelers.
I mean, New England versus Detroit, but you've also got Antonio Brown on a new team, and is he completely healthy to play a full game? I mean, his feet are an issue, and his attitude, amongst other things.
Oh, and his helmet.
That too. Yeah. Then we've got Evan Ingram, James White against Trey Burton and Kerryon Johnson.
So Kerryon Johnson is definitely more likely to outmatch James White, although James White could catch like 15 passes. Mm-hmm. And then Ingram and Burton both, it depends on if they get a touchdown. And so, yeah, that's the difference. Yep. Whoever gets a touchdown wins that matchup.
Yep. Then we got the Bills defense versus the Pats defense. Bills. Justin Tucker, nobody cares about kickers. Anyway.
I'm just saying, Tucker's pretty solid. Yeah, I loved it when he missed that field goal against the Steelers, though. Loved it. The look on his face, memeable.
All right, on to the next matchup. Michael, the chosen one.
I'm going to pick Josh to win that game, even though Brittany
that's right.
is stacked. I just believe all those players are going to play.
Yep, I can see that. I'll pick Josh on that one as well. The chosen one versus VA Chulupa Batman. Michael versus Bruce. We've got Aaron Rodgers versus Dak Prescott.
We went over this a little bit in our draft grades, but Michael's team is most likely to get injured. That's his thing. But if not, his team is pretty heckin' stacked as well.
Now, you've got Aaron Rodgers versus the number one defense, and you saw how that went the first game last year. Then you've got Dak Prescott against arguably one of the bottom few defenses in the league.
Dak makes fantasy points.
He does.
He might not make Super Bowls, but he makes fantasy points.
And with an all-new receiver core, I could see Dak Prescott outscoring Aaron Rodgers in week one.
Especially if Zeke isn't there the first week, he's going to have to throw a little bit more.
Yep. Then we've got Todd Gurley and Marlon Mack versus Leonard Fournette and David Montgomery.
Okay, so Todd Gurley, he's super talented in a super high-powered offense, but he's also been injury-prone. Mm-hmm. But I think he beats out Leonard Fournette. And Marlon Mack, he catches a lot of passes. Mm-hmm. This is a half-point PPR league, so...
Yeah, and you got to think running back, Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
They might run the ball a lot versus the Chargers there.
But Fournette, he can run in a straight line, but if there's anybody in his way, he might just fall down and get hurt. Yeah. And then David Montgomery, he was my favorite running back out of the draft this year, and he's in Chicago. So he's going to be in that Jordan Howard spot from last year. So he has the potential to be really good for VH Chalupa Batman. Screw you, Bruce.
Then I think the wide receivers are a no-brainer. You got Keenan Allen and Amari Cooper against Devontae Adams and Julio Jones.
But not by much. Those are both really good. I mean, they're both number one. They're all four number one receivers for their teams.
Yes.
So I would give the slight edge to Bruce, but I mean, Michael's got a team. So
yep. And we've got George Kittle versus OJ Howard.
Again, Kittle is just he's set to maybe break more records this year, and then OJ Howard, like I said, he will catch a 75-yard touchdown pass and then not play the whole rest of the year. So if it happens to be this game, though, look out.
All right, then we've got flex position, Cooper Kupp, Julian Edelman. Obviously, that could change. Cooper Kupp was a beast last year.
I feel like Cooper Kupp might have outplayed his actual talent level. I mean, he's good, but...
They're saying he looks even better now than before his injury.
Looks don't matter.
That's true.
It's how you play.
That's true.
And then so... I think
not the face. It's,
yeah. No, but
he didn't get plastic surgery.
I hate Julian Edelman.
I do too.
He puts up points though.
Yep.
And then,
but you also, I mean, Julian Edelman. But you got to think you got Josh Gordon there, Demaryius Thomas.
Demaryius Thomas got cut.
Did he get cut?
He got cut.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's a free agent right now.
I didn't even see that.
No, he's a free agent right now. who's going to pick him up? I don't know. And if he didn't get cut, then I have false info, and I look like an idiot right now. But I'm pretty sure he's cut.
I didn't hear that, but I also haven't looked at much today. So, okay.
Cooper Kupp, I don't think he's it. I
think Robert Woods is going to be more of a threat on that offense.
We'll see.
Wide receiver wise. I hope for my fantasy football team's sake.
Yes.
Matchup, Cowboys defense versus the Browns defense.
The Cowboys defense is very front seven and not very back, like secondary. I mean, they have a lot to prove, but with that linebacking core that they have right now,
boy,
dude, they're severely underrated. And
they are.
This is a scary pick as far as how late he got the Dallas defense. Mm-hmm. And then the Browns defense, same thing.
Same thing.
They don't actually have a great linebacking core as far as I remember, but they have great everything else.
Yes.
So
they're a scary defense as well. I can see this going either way, but the Cowboys are playing the Giants.
I think the Browns are more likely to cause a turnover or get a sack than the Cowboys. The Cowboys are more likely to get you to go 3 and out. So fantasy points wise, the Browns are more likely to get like a pick 6 or something like that.
Yeah, I can see that. Then Steven Hauschka, Brett Maher.
Never heard of him. No, I'm kidding. But
Steven Hauschka, I'm going to do that because I'm a Cowboys fan. Brett Maher has been god awful. So, all right, next we've got TPRS versus Josiah.
Oh, yeah.
Drew Brees versus Russell Wilson, week 1.
I will call it a draw because Drew Brees doesn't have to throw the ball like he used to. I mean, probably the greatest quarterback of all time. And I know people are like, isn't that Tom Brady? No, it's not. Drew Brees, greatest quarterback of all time versus Russell Wilson, who...
I think Russell Wilson's overrated.
I think he is too, but he's 15 fantasy points. So that's why I picked him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a solid, you can get at least 15, if not more.
Yeah, so Drew Brees, same thing.
You are projected to whip his ass, though.
And I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. Mm-hmm. But I will call this a draw. Just for quarterback.
Okay, then obviously you win in the running back game. Devontae Freeman and Sony Michel versus Kamara and Nick Chubb. I mean, come on. Hands down. Yeah. You've got that one easily.
Yeah.
Wide receivers, though. I think he's got the upper hand on you. He's got the number 1 receiver in DeAndre Hopkins. The biggest threat on the Kansas City offense. But the thing with Tyreek Hill is that one game he'll get you 50 points, the next game he'll get you 8.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to tell there against your Adam Thielen and Mike Williams.
All Mike Williams does is catch touchdowns. All Adam Thielen does is score points. I will give Roger the edge on this one, but secretly in my head, I'm like, no, I definitely have the better.
It depends on Tyreek Hill.
My receivers will get you 30 points every week, and his receiving core will get you either 75 or 20.
20, yeah. Okay, Austin Hooper, Zach Ertz. Obviously, Zach Ertz. And they're playing Washington. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Tevin Coleman, Austin Eckler, flex position.
Tevin Coleman is a great pick because who else is... I mean, they have Matt Breida in the backfield. Mm-hmm. Tevin Coleman Atlanta was great.
There are talks of Gordon maybe ending up in San Francisco. Now, that's not
Per
Michael.
Michael.
I haven't done the research on it, but,
Austin Eckler might be the starter week 1, so...
That's true.
Points me.
Then we've got Jaguars defense versus the Saints defense, and everybody's talking about the Jaguars and how they're going to make the postseason because Nick Foles and their defense is going to be back to where they were. I don't see it.
Saints defense is low-key really good, and that's one of the reasons why they've been defense run the ball, and Drew Brees hasn't had... I mean, it's prolonged his career. Alvin Kamara and that defense have prolonged his career probably 3 more years. So...
Yep.
Yeah.
And now the thing that worries me is that you've got a matchup there in Houston versus the Saints. And if DeAndre Hopkins goes off, that's even less points for you because you've got the Saints defense
perfect
there.
Battle for me there. But I mean, Jacksonville's facing Kansas City, so points me.
Yep. And you also have to think you've got Kamara over his Breeze. Even if he throws the ball to Kamara for a touchdown, you've got the points there.
I'm fine with that.
And then kickers, Harrison Butker, which, you can't go wrong with a name like Butker, versus...
I'm going to kick Rogers Butker.
I don't even know who that is.
Fairbairn?
Fairbairn.
I honestly don't know how to... It's like Fairbairn
from Houston.
No, he's you never hear about him because he doesn't miss.
Fair.
But he's also not going to kick
That's
like
fair.
a 65-yard field goal either. He's just going to go out and bang 40s.
True.
So,
And not the drink.
yeah.
40-yard field goals.
I'm happy with that.
All right, and on to the last matchup here. We've got the Wrath of Quan, Nathan versus Team Hairless and Jessica. Okay, so I've got an issue here right now. We've got Josh Allen versus Cam Newton.
Well, he picked up Tom Brady. I don't think Nathan's ever going to play Tom Brady. Like, I think he puked for like an hour after that.
He told me last night that he still feels kind of sick about that pick. My brother Nathan is a huge Buffalo Bills fan, and you can tell by his roster, you know.
But Josh Allen also last year ran for his life behind that trash offense. And so he got like 100 yards rushing a game. He probably won't do that this year, but they got him a solid tight end. I mean, it's his second year. He's developed a little bit more.
He'll be better. But you also have to think Tom Brady's not a fantasy quarterback, though. He's not a great fantasy quarterback.
He's not a great quarterback in real life either.
Yeah, he'll get you 12, 15 points maybe.
He's in a great system where he has to throw the ball 2.5 yards, and then his players get the yards.
Yep, that's true. So Josh Allen versus Cam Newton. I'm going to go with Cam Newton on this one.
Former MVP.
Yeah. Then we've got Saquon Barkley and James Conner versus Le'Veon Bell and Derrick Henry. I'm going with Saquon and James Conner, hands down. We haven't seen Le'Veon Bell in well over a year. And Derrick Henry, like we said earlier, he's a 1 or 2 game back. I mean,
he'll start the season like 20 yards, maybe a touchdown, but he gets stronger as the year goes just because he's built for that. So maybe not this week, but in the future, probably a good pick.
Then we've got Mike Evans and T.Y. Hilton versus Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. I think this is pretty even.
I agree. Michael Thomas is the only one that actually has a quarterback.
Yep.
But as far as
Emmanuel Sanders you got Joe Flacco behind Sanders, Mike Evans and T.Y. Hilton, Jacoby Brissett, and Jameis Winston. It's really hard to tell.
Yeah.
There, I'd probably give this one to Jess just because of Michael Thomas.
Yes, I agree.
Then you've got tight ends T.J. Hawkinson and Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, he hasn't played for a year. If he's healthy, 100% Hunter Henry. But Hawkinson's not anything to sleep on in that Matt Stafford 5,000-yard passing game offense.
Yeah, then we've got the flex position.
Philip Lindsay versus Josh Jacobs. I'm going to give this to Josh Jacobs because I don't believe in the Broncos at all this year. And Philip Lindsay was great last year, but
I think they're going running back by committee up there now, though.
Yeah,
he could carry the load, but he could also only take half.
Josh Jacobs is the guy, and so he's either gonna be good or the Raiders are gonna suck. So most likely the Raiders are gonna suck, but he's gonna put up fantasy points.
Yeah. Then we've got the Chargers defense versus the Rams defense.
I would pick the Chargers defense right up until the day that their safety got hurt. What's their safety's name? Shoot.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. But he was
big issues
drafted last year, and he was by far the best safety possibly in the league.
Yeah.
Just right out of the gate. And so that takes the top off the defense. He was so good.
I'm going to go with matchup there. I still think the Chargers will score more points than the Rams, strictly for who they're playing. As Chargers versus Indy, Rams versus Carolina. I think
Derwin James is who I'm talking about.
Yeah. I think Cam Newton's got a better chance of scoring more points against the Rams defense than Jacoby Brissett does versus the Chargers
Especially
defense.
the Chargers have a really good defensive line and some okay linebackers. So they might be able to make it without Derwin James, but yeah.
Then we've got Will Lutz versus Steven Gostkowski.
Will Lutz, the better kicker. Gostkowski might get more points, but I'm taking Lutz.
All right. That's a rundown of the teams, which
45 minutes later, but no,
Yeah.
I think that's a good week 1 matchup because I'm going to definitely just bury Roger like so far into the ground that he might actually quit, which is the goal.
I hope so. I hope you beat Roger. So yeah, stay tuned in a second or two, and you'll hear our draft grades that we recorded live on Thursday.
Yeah, which are way different than the projected draft grades. I think Jed or Josh are the number one projected, but we feel differently.
Yeah.
Because
where are the draft grades in here? Can we pull those up real quick?
The final standings, I think it's in. I mean, on my phone, it's under final standings, projected
standings.
Yeah, right there on the home page.
Okay, yeah, I've got it right here. So right now, ESPN Fantasy Football is what we use. Yahoo
Which is trash.
Better.
Yahoo's way better.
But we've been using this one for 3 years, so we just stuck with it because all of our team names and stuff were already still in here. Right now, ranking from first to worst, number 1, Bruce Richards, VH Chalupa Batman. Number 2, Brittany, Mind Flayer Bonner.
No, I think that's least to first. Worst to first? Is that what you said?
No, this is first to worst.
Oh, okay. Then it's changed since I looked at it.
This is completely changed. I am way down at the bottom.
With some cuts and some trades that have happened, a lot of people have moved.
Yeah, and then Jessica Flesher at number 3. This can't be right.
No, I have.
This can't be right.
No, it's out of order. I have Jed Bald Bear at number 1.
Okay, yeah, let's start that over. Continue.
Okay, at number 2, I have King Dingus. At number 3, I have Hover Around Genocide.
That's me.
At number 4, I have Brittany, Mind Flayer Bonner. At number 5, I have Bruce, VA Chalupa Batman. Where's number 6? Team Hairless, Jess, which is wrong. At 7, I have The Wrath of Quan. At 8, I have Unsolicited DAC Picks.
That's you.
Yes. At 9, I have TPRS. And then at number 10, bringing up the rear, Michael with The Chosen One. But honestly, Michael loses the draft every year, like dead last. Mm-hmm. And he's won it 2 years in a row.
2 years and 2 years, and then Jed. And we do have a trophy that's on the line here that I need to get out of Jed's house. So everybody root for me.
Root for me.
Yeah. You could message me your picks on what I should do with my team.
Yeah. If you message me what to do with my team, I'm going to tell you that I know more than you because it's true.
True. Okay, so here is our draft grades.
Okay, so let's grade these drafts real quick.
Shake it, girl.
Start at the top.
The Wrath of Quan.
All right, Brady. That's solid.
Brady
Who's his
Barkley.
backup? Allen. Ooh. Okay, that's kind of shitty.
Josh Allen. Yeah.
I don't know.
But
Josh
he's got-
Allen averaged like 100 rushing yards a game last
God
year.
damn. But he's got Barkley, Connor.
Evans.
And
T.Y. does not
Lindsey.
have a quarterback.
He's got Lindsey as a backup too. I mean,
well,
he's great for flex.
But you've also got two, like Mike Evans is great. T.Y. Hilton can be great, but they've got two
Sometimes.
quarterbacks that are like, we're still not sure of. Because
Right.
Jameis Winston's with, what's his face, the quarterback whisperer coach.
Yeah.
Now, so he could be great, but he still could suck. But Mike Evans has always been a really decent, like, wide receiver, too.
But he's
for
also got
fantasy.
Kenny Galladay. And
Yeah, but
when they have a good matchup, Galladay can score some
Is
points.
that Damian Williams he has as
Yeah.
his flex? Ooh.
Yeah, it is. I know.
Dude. He's set
He's
at running
got
back.
he's got good running backs.
But Greg Olson, not a fan.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah,
He's not been
So,
productive
he's
lately.
trying
Yeah,
to win with
look
the
out
runs.
week 7. Holy crap.
Running back
And then he's
strat.
got Hawkinson too.
Why does he have an
yeah.
empty bench spot?
He's still picking.
He's still
Yeah, he's
picking
still
his
got one
last
more
person.
pick.
Nathan, hurry up. We're trying to grade your team.
Did he took Adrian Peterson. Adrian
Okay.
Peterson.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, not bad. What do we rate this one?
I'm gonna say a 7. I'd go higher, but
7 out of 10?
He's got a lot of buy overlap.
I know.
Yeah,
look at
yeah,
this.
that's
got Connor, Evans, and Olsen all on.
So
you've-
he
you've got
loses
quite a
one-
few.
He's got a
6
tight
weeks-
end, a
week
wide
16s.
receiver, and I don't know. He's got some good replacements though. If
Yeah.
Lindsey plays,
Yeah.
so
But he also was thinking with his favorite team and not like the draft.
Sterling
He also
Shepard.
went.
Josh
he also
Allen.
went really running back heavy.
Yeah.
He
So-
did.
I mean, sometimes that's the hand you
Yeah.
get. Have
I'm going to
to.
say 7.
Yeah.
I'd go higher, but
7 out
I'm
of 10.
interested to see
Yeah.
because I already forgot who I picked.
Okay, well, let's go on to Daniel here.
Oh yeah, Daniel's
All
next.
right, Matt Ryan, the biggest fantasy disappointment
Yeah,
every
and-
year,
and
over
Lamar
and over.
Jackson. So
Yeah, I mean,
I like both
took-
of those picks. I'm not going to lie. Matt Ryan.
I think he's going to do well this year. That's why I took him.
yeah, I
do.
think Matt Ryan's going to do
I think
well.
you could have got Matt Ryan much later though.
I agree.
Well,
yeah. I
out
don't
of
think I
all,
would go
out of
after
all
him so
the
early.
quarterbacks that I wanted at the point that I picked them, that's why I did, because I figured by the time, because there was 15 picks in between, so
But
I knew he'd be gone by then.
McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook, that's a solid duo.
Yep.
Really solid.
Odell Beckham Jr., solid. Robert
Yeah,
Woods.
I'm good with that. Woods is an awesome
He
pick.
was like the 10th overall receiver last year.
yeah, he was really good.
Jared
Yeah.
Cook has all the talent. He's like Dwight Howard in basketball, where you're like, why is this guy not the best player in the league?
Yep.
But he is with Drew Brees now. So
He does have a tendency to kind of underperform this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
Josh Gordon, if he can stop smoking the weed.
He just got reinstated.
Okay.
I took a risk on him
Yeah.
Yeah.
just for a flex
That's a
position. I just
calculated
But you know what? I mean,
It's not
you
really
got,
a risk if he plays for the
You've got
Patriots.
Yeah.
Watkins and you've got Gallup,
Yeah.
too. So, I mean,
Yeah.
if he ends up not doing anything, you have a couple okay
I've
wide
got,
receivers.
I've got Calvin Ridley
Calvin
too.
Ridley's going to
Oh,
pop
and
off.
you've
this
got
year.
Ridley, yeah.
Gallup
Yeah, I'm
Ridley.
good with
Hines
that.
was good last year when some people got hurt.
I'm okay with my team.
I
Like,
think Gallup will be fine this year.
Andrews
too. I
is
mean,
whatever. That's just,
yeah.
to me, that's just a filler.
I needed another
See,
tight
the thing
end.
is, you got
So is
Randall Cobb.
Watkins.
You have Randall Cobb, and you have
Did anybody pick
Amari
up Tommy
Cooper.
Sweeney?
yeah. Well, no, barring Amari Cooper, you have Randall Cobb, and you have Cole, or not Cole Beasley.
Amari Cooper.
No, not him. The other guy that's on their team.
Holy crap! I have
You got four
87
receivers.
text
Or
messages.
Witten, yeah.
Witten's short. Cobb
Cobb's going to be filled
he's
that
your third down.
Beasley role, like the
exactly.
slot receiver. Yeah.
So Gallup's your other guy in the pocket. So Mark Cooper's on double coverage. Michael Gallup's your guy.
That's what I'm
so
saying.
that's a good
He's gonna be
pickup.
okay.
It's a good
But
pickup.
our quarterback is also Dak Prescott. So
Yeah, that's
Big
fair.
true.
So-
Big true.
But anyway, we can move on from my team.
Rating.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
think.
I'd give that an 8. Maybe an
Eight.
8.5.
I'm gonna
I
give
was
it.
thinking a 7.
I'm gonna give it a 7 just because the Josh Gordon pick
Josh
is
Gordon pick.
risky.
It is.
And
It
the
is.
Matt Ryan pick was too high.
yeah.
Are,
All right.
Do we want to record these? Do you want me to start recording these?
I'm recording right now.
No, he
Well-
means like write down the grades. So we have.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
So-
What did Nathan get?
7.
Nathan was 7s across the board.
So we were. It was an 8 and 7, so 7.5 for Daniel. So.
7.5.
Okay.
Yeah, that works. I'm obviously not going to vote on mine.
All right. Unsolicited DAC picks.
Yeah,
Josiah. Russell Wilson. Oh man. Nick Chubb. Mari Cooper. Thielen.
God damn.
Williams. Zach
Mike
Ertz.
Williams.
Zach
Touchdown
Ertz,
machine.
Eckler, the Saints defense. How did you get these picks?
I
Yeah,
don't
this is
know.
a
The
good
people
one.
I drafted
My
with are
God.
idiots.
And then you've got Phillip Rivers as your
Why did you even
backup
pick up
QB.
negative points permanently? Like, why would you even do that?
Yeah,
with
why
Jared
I
Goff?
would not have taken Goff.
I just took him late because I took Russell
But
Wilson.
you have
really
Philip
late.
Rivers though. Why?
No, I took Philip Rivers after
Yeah, he took
golf.
Philip after.
No
him.
shit. That's because he's higher on your bench. I'm talking about why would you take him and Goff? Why take Goff at all? Philip
Why-
Rivers is more of a point scorer than Goff is.
Well,
The thing is that all three of your quarterbacks, while they're all like okay, they're all middle of the pack.
yeah. So
fantasy-wise.
I picked-
Yeah,
So
but
that's a solid.
he more than makes
Yeah.
up for that.
Well,
with
yeah.
Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb, Adam
Oh.
Thielen, Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler, the Saints defense. I mean, he's got
Amari Cooper. Where?
no,
ton.
he meant Alvin Kamara.
Alvin
Kamara. Okay, yeah.
that's
I, was,
what
I kept saying, I was like, well, I don't see Cooper on there.
And then
Alvin
honestly,
Kamara and Chubb, yeah.
like you've got a couple lurkers in here too, because Tariq Cohen
yeah.
has. I
big
mean,
playability.
when he
Latavius
does get
Murray
to play,
down
he
here.
does really well. Latavius Murray has the potential. I mean, if they use him the same way that they used Ingram as a backup to Kamara, he could be a big time point scorer.
Hardman
Porn
is
score.
Porn scorer.
I love porn scorers.
Hardman is Tyreek Hill's backup. They drafted him specifically this year. Like he's the exact same style player.
Who?
McCole Hardman.
Oh, okay.
So
Man, he looks like LaShawn McCoy.
he kind of does.
He really does actually look a lot like a Sean.
But I'm happy with my team. The first
Yeah, it's not
the
bad.
first year that I was in this league, it was stacked like this
Damn.
too.
I'm just worried because every year,
Something happens.
which one of your top players is going to go down in week one?
It's not like
and it's scary.
like I'm gonna call Alvin Kamara right now, and he's gonna be like, "Sorry, dude, I blew my fingers off blowing off fireworks or something." I don't know.
Dude, this to me, this is the 9.5.
Yes,
Nah,
I don't
I wouldn't
know.
give it that high.
I mean,
You gotta
what
think, like,
weak
at-
points do you see? Quarterback? Is that what
No.
you're seeing? Is quarterback?
No.
He's got a balanced bye set up.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. His wide receivers are 12 and 12.
Okay,
Yeah, he's got a
let's
bunch
look at
of
his
12s.
bench.
And his flex.
But he's got a bunch of 12s there.
Look at his bench, though.
Yeah, I know,
So
but
I'll
like,
lose week
look,
12.
Yeah,
look,
well,
wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver. All three of these people on week, let's see, your week 12. Who you got to replace for the other two wide receivers? You have one wide receiver here. So
There's 2 on the bench.
no, I'm talking about this one's out too, wide receiver. So you got these two. But are these two going to fill the shoes of Thielen and Williams?
No, they won't. But it's the bye. I mean, maybe he loses week 12, but by the time he gets to week 12,
Hopefully, I'm 11-0.
he'll probably know like whether or not he's doing well. And week 12, there's a shitload of time to trade.
No,
So,
you're right. You're right.
I mean,
Yeah.
he could.
I'm not saying
he
it's
could
bad.
give up Phillip Rivers to somebody
Just trying to make sure we're looking
for
at all the
a good wide receiver. To
Yeah.
me, like this to
gonna
me
give
is
it an
either a
8.5
9.5 or a 9.
I'm happy with it.
I'll give it an 8 because I'm not really set on like you've got good wide receivers, but they're not. They can be good, but
Yeah,
They look nice on
I'm.
Thielen was great
cautious.
last year for a while, and then he fell off at the end of the
Thielen's
season.
underrated. Mike Williams, touchdown machine, like
Yeah.
all the time, but it
But,
depends.
Yeah,
And then he's got
So-
Zach Ertz and Eckler. Like goddamn, like that's
yeah. I'll give it an 8.
that's ridiculous. So then we'll do 8.5
I think he
overall.
had 10 touchdowns last year.
Well, Michael, what did you say you were giving it?
8.5.
Okay, so we'll just call that an 8.5.
Yeah.
Man, I don't want to be the guy that wins the best grade in the draft because that's the kiss of death.
All right. Well, everyone rate me a 1 then. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's where we're moving on to
Here we
me.
go, Michael.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers.
That's
I mean, there's
I mean,
it's Aaron Rodgers.
proven commodity.
proven. Todd Gurley, unproven.
I'm worried about.
I'm worried.
I'm worried about
So
that pick. Just
I'll
because.
tell,
worried.
I'll tell you right off the bat, I think the biggest problem I have with what I'm seeing up here so far is that your backup quarterback is Jimmy Garoppolo, and Aaron Rodgers was very fragile last year.
yeah.
And you picked 2 injury
He
prone
got hit a
quarterbacks.
lot.
Yeah, but the reason I did it like that is there's just a lot of consistency still in the free agency.
There is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I have
There
no
is.
issues with that at all.
Yeah.
So.
The Todd Gurley pick worries me. Marlon Mack. I
Mack's a
can
good
get
pick.
behind that. That's a
So
good
is
pick.
so is Allen, so is Cooper, so
Yep.
is Kittle, so is Cup.
The reason Todd Gurley worries me so much is last year they would throw the ball all the way down the field and Todd Gurley would get the touchdown.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they can keep that up this year where maybe they score more often.
No, I think
Passing the ball.
I really do think that the reason I took him is obviously one, he was high up, and he is.
And
he
if
is
he does
good.
play, he's great, and
Yeah.
he scores a ton of points.
Yeah, and he gets a lot of yards after the contact, and he really cares about playing with a team.
Yeah.
So I think that lends to him being less injury prone than other players who are just looking to get the ball. Like I know he's obviously a good player, but I mean you saw him
Gurley?
in the end of last year. He refused to run in the touchdown. He was just like, let's just
Well, yeah.
stop. I don't need the stats because that goes to
Well,
show
that
that he
doesn't
just
really
wants to-
bode well for your fantasy team, though.
No, I know
if
that.
he just
but
runs
that,
to the end zone and stops,
that means
so his team can win.
That means he's looking out more for the team
No,
than he
yeah.
is himself.
Your
So,
strong point is definitely your receivers. Keenan
for
Allen,
sure.
Cooper Kupp, 20 points a game. But
Yeah.
yeah, I hope so.
And then
Amari
Amari Cooper, like
yeah, Kittle.
You've got the
is-
chance of
Kittle can be good.
He is
He did
very
great. He did-
talented. It depends
Well,
on how well the team
he's,
does.
He's another player that set an NFL record last year, and everybody's really high on him. But he did that. Can he do that again?
and
And I took him because
know?
he was the one of the last high rated tight
yeah,
ends
he
when
was
I got
the
to
best
him. So
tight end available. And then after that, you have like nothing. So
right.
I mean,
I think what worries me is
you've got a very
your bench is not great.
you've got a very injury prone roster as a whole.
for Todd Gurley,
Todd Gurley, Rodgers,
sat out
Cup.
a full season.
Landry,
Keenan
McCoy,
Allen has sat out a full season in the
Garoppolo.
last 5 years.
Look at the
AJ
space.
Green.
Look at the spacing
Rodgers,
for bye
Garoppolo,
weeks. though.
Jordan
Rodgers
Reed.
missed most of a
Yeah,
season.
I mean the bye weeks are good. You got a few people on 4,
So
but people on your bench. Though,
you have the
so,
talent on your team if they finish the season.
Yeah,
But
I'm not worried about it. I
injury-
think it'll be fun.
I think I'm going to say if everybody isn't injured and plays,
I'll give it a solid 7.
I'd give it a 7.
I give it
But-
7.2.
But
I,
with the
injuries,
up in the air injury questions, I'm probably going to
it's
say
tough.
like a 6.
but that's probably why these players fell to you so often because people are like, I don't want to pick him. He just got
Yeah.
hurt. So that's not a bad
I mean-
plan.
Yeah, I mean, if they end up playing, then I think it'll be great. So what do we 6.5?
We all gave him 7s or 7.2.
I gave him a
7.2.
Yeah.
Mind Flayer Bonner.
I'd say a 6.7. If 2 people, yeah, that's fine.
Good.
Just for the injury prone thing.
Brittany.
Let me see. All right, so
Deshaun Watson.
Good pick.
good.
Mixon is solid. Carson, too.
Mixon's a good pick, but I don't like him as a
Smith-Schuster and
person.
Jeffrey and Ingram and White. That was a good pickup. Bills
Evan Ingram's a
defense.
solid pick.
He's hit or miss.
She's
honestly.
better at picking fantasy teams than she is husbands.
Fact.
I don't know. She doesn't have a
Carson
very.
Wentz and Kirk Cousins are two solid backup quarterbacks to have. Because
There's definitely more depth in her team. Let's just say that.
I don't trust that wide receiver core.
Yeah,
for points.
I mean, it's
Valdez-Scantling is a good pick at that
Smith-Schuster's
spot.
a big question mark because without Brown on
Brown,
the field, is
Alshon
he going to be
Jeffrey
open?
could be good, but honestly, he hasn't been that good in fantasy.
No, and honestly, if Carson Wentz gets hurt in week 2 again, and they have to go to their backup, and old Big Dick Nick's not around to jump in and save the day.
Well, their backup's out too. I don't even know who the
I know.
backup's going to be. So
I know.
it's really
So
hard to tell.
that's really up in the air.
The wide receiver core worries me.
Jordan Howard's a solid pick as late as she got him.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Howard is very solid. And,
Bills defense.
and she's
Bills
got
defense.
That
she's
defense
got
is solid.
Evan
Best in the
Ingram.
league. Again, I'm calling it now.
She's got Evan Ingram and Eric Ebron. So that's good tight ends.
Yeah,
Those are solid tight ends right there.
they're also Ingram. I mean, the Giants.
Yes, Ingram can do
And
really,
Ebron-
really, really well, or he
Ebron-
can do bad. But one
Ebron
thing to
gets hurt a
remember,
lot, though, so-
remember though, the Giants don't have OBJ.
Yeah, that's true.
And
So-
none of the
Shepard.
other none of the other wide receivers either.
Yeah, so I imagine
So, yeah.
Ingram might be leaned on a little bit more heavily this year.
yeah, I can see
So
that.
They might be using the Barkley Ingram combo for short yardage.
Especially if Jones comes in, because he'll be looking for that dump off to Saquon or
Yep.
Ingram.
I feel like she's B plus all the way across the board, and all she needs is one of her players just pop off,
Yeah.
like one of her 10 starters to
Yeah.
go off, and she'll win.
I give this like a 7.5 just because of consistency. Like nothing on the board is like outrageously good, but everything there
7.3.
It's good.
just because it's better than Michael. No, I'm kidding. 7.1.
I don't know. I'd probably have to give it 6.5 just because I'm worried about those wide receivers.
So we'll call it a 7.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that would
All
be
right.
my thing. And she's only got 3,
What do you think,
so
Michael?
What? I'm sorry. I don't know enough about sports to make a good call. So, I don't know any of these players. I really don't.
Fair.
Absolute F.
Only one that I know is I know the Bills' defense is going to be good because I've been watching
You
them
will
play.
it to be.
No, they're just good. They were number one for like half the season last year. So, and nothing's changed, and they've actually got some new people on the defense that are going to make them even better. So,
their defense is going to be hard.
hard
As
defense.
fuck this
Big
year.
old hard
They're gonna
D.
be good.
Hard D, guys. But honestly, between him and Schuster, and I agree with what you said earlier, Jed, it's a great pickup, but he's now their
He's the go-to
does,
guy.
the guy.
does he have the experience to be able to battle off to 3 people covering him? So,
Yeah, and the primary coverage.
yeah.
Yep.
But other than that, I don't have much to say because I don't know who any of these people are other than this guy, and he's a douche. So
Who,
Carson Wentz.
Oh, I thought you meant Kirk Cousins.
Also,
He's actually
Also a douche.
Kirk Cousins isn't a douche. Kirk Cousins is actually a really good dude. So,
I've never met him.
so.
Same.
I don't
Okay.
like him personally.
See, I got it. 6.
All right, who's-
6.5.
Please tell me about your experiences with him.
Who's next on the list here?
Next on the
That'll be
list
Jess.
is
Team
Hairless. Jess.
I've been looking at this and I've got some issues with it.
Particularly starting from the top, moving down.
Yeah. Well, you've got your quarterback
Cam
is Cam Newton, injury prone. We're not even sure if he's going to start.
Cam Newton.
He is
Yeah.
back out and practicing, which is good.
Le'Veon Bell with the
Le'Veon-
Jets.
It's a total toss-up.
Le'Veon Bell could be great, could be terrible in a new offense.
Derrick Henry
Henry-
has popped the fuck off.
Derrick
for a few
Henry-
games
For a few games.
Derrick
but
and that was it.
that
But
was
he
it.
gets better as the season goes. So he's going to get like 20 yards the first game, 30 yards the second game.
But
So
by-
at the end
by
of the
that-
season,
So
But
what
that-
you're saying is she'll miss the playoffs.
she'll
but
miss
she'll
the
get
playoffs.
close
But
in the
she's
last
gonna-
few games.
She's going to win.
She'll miss the playoffs, but she'll get first round draft pick.
Yeah,
next year.
she's going to win the consolation bracket for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, Michael Thomas.
that's an
obviously,
awesome pick.
I wanted
so
that
is
one
Emmanuel
so bad.
Sanders.
I don't. With the
no.
quarterback,
No.
who's throwing to him?
Yep. Joe Flacco.
Flacco's with Denver now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
that's-
never
yeah.
mind.
Hunter Henry. I can get behind
I don't
Hunter
know,
Henry.
man. Flacco's when Flacco really tries, he's good. But the problem is Flacco just plays like he doesn't give a shit about football.
Yeah.
And who knows what Hunter Henry's going to be like after sitting out all of last season.
That's true.
Josh Jacobs, highest rated running back coming out of the draft last year. Nobody knows if he's going to actually be good because he's a rookie.
And he's playing at the Raiders.
And Njoku's not a bad pick. Kyler Murray.
Wow.
I mean, the Rams defense.
What
and
a white guy.
He's like as white as Tom Brady.
I'm not going to lie. Her whole season hinges on whether Kyler Murray is good or not. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
if
don't.
Kyler Murray like puts up 30 points a game from getting like 75-yard
honey.
rushes,
I'm sorry, honey, but when I look
Six.
at what you've picked, and the three best picks that stand out to me are two kickers and a defense.
And Michael Thomas.
I don't think
the-
you drafted well.
Michael Thomas is in there, man.
Yeah.
I know.
Sanders
I
is
was
great too.
I just have issues with like the running
sarcastic.
backs.
Remember when
and-
he was good, guys?
Yeah.
Remember?
back when he played for the Steelers.
I remember.
Yeah, I'd probably have to give this one a 4.5.
Yeah, this is gonna be.
honestly.
I'm gonna say probably a 5.
I don't think it's that bad, but I mean, I don't know. That's the thing. It's like if we're rating it based off the suspected, but like, sure, I could see it on a 5, but I could also see this ended up in like an 8.
I could see it.
Because
both
let's
ways,
say Le'Veon Bell comes out and does really well. Cam Newton has a good year.
So okay,
The-
so if Le'Veon Bell plays like he did with the Steelers prior to him sitting out, Derrick Henry plays every game like he did in that 2 or 3 games
Where he got
stint
the
last
99-yard
year.
touchdown
if
run.
Derrick, you can't play it like that because Derrick Henry played those games and got 50 fantasy points 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Towards the end of the season,
that would make this like a 9-point team.
it
If
would.
both of those players played like in those
But you can't expect them to play that.
I'm
way.
not
Yeah,
saying
I
that.
just
What I'm
don't
saying
think
is
that's gonna
I'm
happen.
okay with a 5 here, but you have to consider I think it deserves higher than that because there's a potential for this team to be a lot higher. in
I'm
points
actually
than a lot
putting
of
it
the
at
other
a
ones.
5 because of the potential.
Yeah, I don't think I could go any higher than like maybe a 6.
I'm fine with a 6.
And I'm
I'll
more
stick it.
comfortable at 5.
Better than my team.
I'm going to stick it as a 5. So,
So we do 5.5. Okay.
that's fine.
I didn't pay
All right.
attention.
Next
I
is
didn't-
Rogers.
She's making excuses over there.
Roger.
I didn't.
That guy's a dick sometimes, so
Drafting.
4.
Breeze is a decent pick.
All right, so Drew Brees, I had him
love
last
playing
year,
Breeze.
and he's probably the best quarterback of all time.
Okay.
But he doesn't throw touchdown passes anymore. He hands the
right.
ball to Kamara.
I immediately see a big problem here.
I also see a big problem.
Lots of 10s and 12s.
There's a ton of 10s
Yeah.
up there.
Devonta
And
Freeman
9s
hurt.
too.
1,
Sony Michel.
2, 3, 4, 5 people on bye week.
You cannot trust Sony Michel
man. No, you
because the
can't.
Patriots run like
Well,
they
they've
use
got
a different.
They've got 3 good running backs.
They use a different running back every week.
Yeah.
Hopkins is the best receiver.
Hopkins is
in
a
the
good
league.
pick. So
Tyreek
is Hill.
Tyreek Hill's good.
Yeah.
Hooper's a great low key pick, and Coleman could pop off
Yeah.
in San
Hooper did
Francisco.
nothing for me
Yeah.
last year.
Jaguars
that guy.
D is a good pick.
Hooper's like the solid 8 points a
But
game.
okay,
He's not
so
gonna get you-
but
big
is the
falls.
Jaguars defense a good pick?
I think it is.
Do we think it
so,
is?
So here's
Last
why.
year it wasn't that great.
Here's why I think it is. No, I disagree with you wholeheartedly.
It wasn't.
I don't think the Jaguars defense.
did.
I don't think the Jaguars defense was as bad as they were made out to be.
Okay, well,
I think-
are we talking like game wise or fantasy wise? Because I'm sticking
I'm
strictly
talking.
with fantasy.
I'm speaking both, and the reason that I'm speaking both is you got to remember last year they had old fucktard at quarterback, and they couldn't
they've got-
get the defense off the field.
All fucktard at quarterback this year
I'm
too.
getting poked with a microphone.
Big Dick Nick is better than
No, hands down.
what's his name? I can't
But-
even remember the guy's
But
name.
Big Dick Nick has never played a full season.
He's
Bortles.
gonna be better. Than,
Bortles.
Yeah.
he's
He
gonna
did
be
for
better
Eagles.
than Bortles.
He will be.
He won a Super Bowl as the backup
Yeah,
against the Patriots.
but he's not going to go to Jacksonville and turn that team around.
He's gonna do better than Bortles.
That's not hard. I could go do
I
better
know,
than
but
Bortles.
what I'm saying is,
and I can't throw a football 20
think-
yards.
I think the Jaguars will do better than they did last year.
Oh, hands down, yeah.
because the defense is not going to have to be on the field 3/4 of the game.
He's not wrong.
he's not wrong, but
With Bortles, they went 3 and out a lot inside their own red zone.
Yes, like
but I'm
every
still
single
just,
time.
I just still don't see their defense as being a number 2 defense.
How could you have a
Like
bad
they've got him
team
rated.
with a kicker named Butker?
This is a factor, honestly.
I tried to take
Moving-
the microphone.
you've gained a
from
point,
Jess.
Rod.
Move past that.
Moving
It's not
past that,
happening.
Baker Mayfield as a QB2 is an awesome pick.
That's a sleeper pick right there.
It's
he
an
could
awesome
pop
pick
off.
because he might do really well, and if he doesn't, you drop him and pick
Yeah.
up somebody else.
Yep.
I hope he does. I hate that guy.
Robbie Anderson, when he's on, is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He's just very hot and cold.
Christian Kirk is
Is he yes
low
and
key
he's
good
no?
pick.
He's yes and he's no.
Is he
Plus
in and
Robbie
out?
Anderson's hair.
He's
I
up
mean,
and he's
come
down.
on.
Yeah.
He's
Cam
wrong
Sutton.
and he's right.
Michael, click on Robbie Anderson there.
Yeah, let's
I
see
will
that
click
hair.
on Robbie
Let's
Anderson
look at his
here.
hair.
I
Yes,
mean,
look at
that deserves points right there.
Robbie Medusa Anderson. Do not look at those. He literally looks like the beholder right there. It
Holy
is
shit, he
ridiculous.
does.
I think Roger's strategy was to go through and pick the number 2 person in the depth chart for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I like the wide receivers. I really like the wide receivers. I don't like his running backs. I don't
Johnny
like
Hopkins looks like he has grandpa hair, but it's only on the back of his head.
Devonta Freeman as his number 1 running back that he picks. Like,
That was
when's the last time he's finished a season?
He's
He
not
couldn't
good.
finish a piece of cake.
Yeah, Sony
That's
Michel
the thing, though.
as his
I don't
number
know
2.
why
Like,
Devontae Freeman ranks so high in the running back charts every
'Cause-
year, and he's a consistent letdown.
because whenever
Consistent
he's can play a full season, he's not bad. But then Sony Michel, not a fan of, not for fantasy, not for a number 2 running
Well,
back.
he's also on the Patriots, so no one likes him anyway.
Yeah, not for a number 2.
I'd give this team a 6.5, 7, just
Yeah,
for the
I
wide
was
receivers.
going to
and
say
quarterbacks.
6.5.
I'm like a 5 on this.
Better
5.
than Jess's team, worse than everybody else.
I'm giving him a point for Hopkins, a point for Breeze, a point for his combined running backs, and then a negative point for Mayfield. And then
No,
I don't really have anything
Mayfield's
else.
going to be his starter over Breeze by the end of the year in fantasy.
Tyreek Hill.
I hate Baker Mayfield.
I like Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
I do.
I'm happy with a 6.5 for me. I
Yeah.
don't know.
That- that's fine.
6.7 from me.
I got a 5.
So we'll do a 6.
That works. Now we're
right.
on to Josh's team. This will be
Oh
fun.
man,
Oh my gosh.
Now, let's just go down the list of this auto
it
drafted
actually
team.
hurts me to look
Yep.
at this. Like it's so good, but so like
It's not.
it is
So-
good. You can't deny there's so much talent on
Okay,
this
this
team.
There's a lot of
is
potential.
this is a podcast. Let's explain the
Look
team.
at Matt Owens' girlfriend,
Yeah.
Em Prater.
So Josh didn't get in time, and auto drafted all the way into like the 13th round.
Yeah,
And
So-
blamed us for
and
it.
blamed
Yeah.
us for
We
it.
even pushed the draft back 30 minutes.
Yeah.
so we've got
Actually,
Mitchell
yeah.
Trubisky.
Mitchell Trubisky, which I mean,
A solid
he's
pick for
okay.
how late he
Yeah,
got him.
Honestly, yeah, that's solid for where he picked him up. Honestly,
Which
Then-
round did he get him in? Scroll down.
it was late.
oh, it actually shows that.
yeah.
it will.
Then we've got Ezekiel Elliott, who may or may not.
13th round.
13th round. I mean,
For
yeah,
Trubisky.
Trubisky. That's a good pick at 13.
He got Ezekiel Elliott, probably the second best fantasy player in the league.
If he plays.
He plays.
If he plays.
Really, you put Zeke over Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara for fantasy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a
Okay.
half-point PPR league?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, he got over 2,000 total yards last
Why do you
year.
think that I got into the playoffs the last 2 years?
Yeah. Dude's good.
Zeke is a machine?
Then we've got David Johnson, which I'm worried about because
It's
Because
just the
Cardinals.
team.
the Cardinals.
and injuries.
Cardinals.
Those Cardinals.
And then Antonio Brown, nobody knows.
Yep. Stephon Diggs is a solid number 2 wide
Huge
receiver.
play.
I gotta say though, honestly, I think Antonio Brown is not as dangerous of a pick as people think he is. Because
Not anymore.
regardless of what you think about him,
He's the
he
hardest
is
working player in the league.
unbelievably talented.
He is, but he's
And I
got
think
a
even-
shit quarterback.
I think
throwing
even
the
with
ball.
a bad quarterback,
He has for the last 10 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many times did you see Ben
I'm
throw some dumbass
Yeah.
pass
Well,
and
I'm
then he
sorry.
would just go up and bring it?
Hall
home?
Doesn't
of
matter, he's
Fame
not gonna be able to
season
see the ball to catch
quarterback
it, according to
and
him.
Derek Carr.
Okay,
Like, come on.
okay, that's fair. Yeah. Still, I don't
I mean,
think
no,
he's
I-
as dangerous of a pick. I don't
I
know
don't-
that he's a WR1.
No, I don't think he's going to be he's not going to be nearly as good as he has been.
I
So
probably
that's what
would've-
worries me about it.
I probably would have gone for like out of the wide receivers that he has. I probably would have snagged Godwin
we also have to
and Diggs before Brown, but he auto drafted.
yeah, he auto drafted. Okay, yeah. So
Trey
we'll
Burton.
move on.
Starter.
I don't know. We also don't know the work that they've been doing with Brown though, because everything with Antonio.
Well, he
Brown's
hasn't been in training camp,
Yeah.
so not very much.
Yeah,
Has he
is.
not been?
no, he won't. He doesn't have a helmet.
He has
Well,
been, but
yeah.
like
He won't wear the helmet.
It's been typical Antonio Brown shit.
How are you supposed to learn your team's
Yeah.
plays? Like that's crappy. Okay,
Yeah.
what are we rating Josh's?
I'm gonna give it a.
There's a lot of.
I feel like
I don't
this
know.
one needs a range. Like it
I don't
really
know.
does.
Yeah.
All right.
If they were all starting, what would we rate it? And
If they were
weren't?
all starting,
9.5.
Oh, hands
probably
down.
an 8.5 for me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
right
I'd say
up
an
there.
8. I'd say a 9.
But you got like Melvin Gordon on the bench, who we're not even sure is going to play this year.
That's what I mean. If they were all starting,
I'm going to give it a -6 on character. So
But I mean, even if they were all starting, right?
Douche.
So let's think about it
Douche.
though. Even if they were all starting, you've got Antonio Brown at a brand new team, right? You got Mark Ingram at a brand new team. So those two guys right there, questionable.
Stephon Diggs doesn't have quite the they used to have a good number 3 receiver and a solid tight end, but I feel like it's just him and Thielen out there.
I don't know. Kyle Rudolph is pretty damn
Rudolph's
good.
still pretty good, but who's their third string receiver?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they're both going to get double teamed, and
Yeah.
good luck whatever scrub they pull off the bench. I mean, someone has to step up, or Diggs is getting double teamed every
Well, who's
time.
their running back now?
Dalvin Cook.
Oh, well.
Yo.
I mean, that's pretty solid then.
I'm going to dab over here.
I mean, I still think probably the safest player that he has on the board is probably Stephon Diggs, honestly.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he's the only player that you can look at that doesn't come with
But,
some
I
kind
mean,
of a string attached.
Melvin
Yep.
Gordon, if he plays,
That's the thing.
Top
if
5.
he plays.
He won't.
watch
I
out.
can
Week
almost put
6
money
and
on it.
12 though. man.
Godwin and Moore, very good.
Godwin is good.
That
Godwin's
is true.
very
Like
good.
half of his starters that are up
6
there will
and
be
12.
out 6 and 12. Yep.
But that's okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna say a 6.
I think I'm going to say 6.5.
Just
That's fine.
yeah.
Cool.
Super cereal.
So what do we want to? What are we giving him?
Let's say 6.25. Sounds like.
yeah,
Cool.
that sounds
works.
right.
All right, Jed. Team Super Cereal.
I see some issues.
Here we go.
Mahomes
Me
first
too.
Oh God,
round.
I'm already over it. One.
Kenyon Drake had 2 good games 4 years ago.
Yep. And he's with the Dolphins. We don't know what the team's going to do. They don't have an offensive line
Or quarterback.
or a quarterback
Or fans.
or fans. Even Aaron Jones as a number 1 running back, he would be like a solid 2 maybe.
So the only
don't
reason that
think-
I grabbed
I
Jones was because out of what was left,
Yeah, you.
I noticed when you drafted him. Yeah.
he
You
was the
went-
best thing I had, and I had him last year, and he did way better than I expected him to do.
I think
But
you went
you also-
Mahomes,
He is
Kelsey,
projected
then
to have
Cooks,
2
right?
touchdowns this year. Awesome.
I mean, he's projecting 200 points as well. So,
200. Yeah. So
They don't run the ball.
Yeah. Cooks is solid.
But I think you went Mahomes, Kelsey, then Cooks, right? Which is as your top 3. That's pretty solid.
yeah, I think that was my top 3 with
I
Mahomes, Kelsey,
like the
Cooks.
Tyler Lockett pick because who else do they have up there? Metcalf's injured.
Yeah.
That,
They
that's
got
a good
the
pick.
guy from WVU. What's his name?
Man, as soon as you said it,
Shelton?
I forgot
No.
it. Nope. Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Ah.
And he was actually a good pick for them.
I don't know.
Sills. Sills.
No, not Sills. He went to the Bills.
Cool. You guys have phones. Look it up.
Yeah, it's true.
So Travis Kelce, obviously.
With the
tight
Mahomes
end.
Kelsey connection,
Yeah.
that's double.
Yeah, that's
That's why I
dangerous
took
right there.
Kelsey when he was so early. I was
Yeah.
really hesitant because I had already taken a quarterback, and I was like, man, I'm gonna get fucked on my running backs. But he threw to Kelsey constantly, and Kelsey can always get the ball.
I was going to take Kelsey in the, right there in the second round.
But
don't know what
that
I'm
really puts me in a bad situation.
Gary
though, because
Jennings.
if they end up not doing it,
Jennings.
Gary Jennings.
If that team does, if they get
then
trounced,
I mean that hurts
you're-
me.
you're pretty screwed.
But I did get Vance McDonald though.
yeah,
Who's
Vance
been, who's
McDonald,
been a decently
he's-
productive type.
Yeah,
If-
but-
he's an injury-prone guy, but
He
he's,
is.
Look
Yeah.
at this
but,
doucher.
but going in week to week, when are you going to start
Jeez.
Vance McDonald over Travis Kelce?
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
Unless something were to happen with Mahomes or Kelsey.
Yeah.
In
Jed,
which
you were
case,
literally the edge lord of fucking fantasy football players.
As far as like the
ridiculous.
rest of your team, I mean,
Look at this crooked ass smile, douche. That ear's so much bigger than that one. God, I hate this.
you do
guy.
have the Bears defense.
Look at this.
Too.
Look at this little fucking shark fin.
Now
hate
we're making
this
fun
guy.
of Patrick Mahomes. Anyway, I'd say a 7.
it looks weaker than it is because
Yeah.
you have a lot of points coming from your kicker and defense. So you're hoping to get 10 extra points out of them.
So what I always try to do is I try to get like a better average depth. So like none of my running backs are outstanding, but I try to have a lot of like really good mid-level running backs. None of my wide receivers are outstanding, but I feel like all my wide receivers are decent.
You've got some high end players, and then you don't ever like your strategy is not to lose the game on defense or with your kicker, which can happen. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a solid 7 because you've got high ceiling and no super weak point except running back.
Yeah.
What is it like?
Yeah, my running back.
Yeah,
core
that's
is pretty
6.5 out of to 7, roughly. Yeah.
I'm really hoping. I'm pulling hard for C.J. Anderson
I saw
to
that.
do it up at Detroit. Look at that fat motherfucker.
He's got to sit behind Kerryon Johnson, who's
Yeah.
also not very slim, but
Year 1 when we played this, C.J. Anderson carried you into the end, man.
Yeah.
He really did.
He sure did.
So I remember that.
All right,
Look
let's
at
move
you.
on. Who's
So what
last?
do we? Hold on. What was the?
I gave it I'll say a 7.
I'm gonna give it a 7 too. I
I'll
mean,
give it a 7.
There's no
It's a
lie.
7.
There's some good stuff here. So especially with Kelsey, Mahomes, there's a good lineup right there. So every game you're guaranteed between the two of them probably 60 points. So
yeah.
yeah, I think
Like
a
literally,
7
if
is
any
good.
of your other players play at all and don't fumble, you'll do okay.
Yeah, I agree.
If Kansas City can do it again this year.
I don't think Mariota's the guy.
I don't think that they're going to be as good as they were last year, but just only because that's how it is. Second year, everyone gets the read on someone.
Yeah.
I still think he's going to be great. I can't deny it. I hate his guts, but I think he'll be good.
I mean, all he has to do is just throw the ball 2 yards forward to Tyreek Hill and let him run 80 yards, and that's
Big
that's
true.
fine.
Which they do
All the time.
a lot.
All right, so
Can we
7?
skip Bruce?
I'm a good old 7 on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7.
We can skip Bruce F.
All right.
No,
the final.
I'm actually-
I hate his fucking team.
They're good.
I hate his fucking wide receivers so much.
Oh, okay.
Dude, just look at those wide receivers. Get the fuck out of
Julio
here.
Jones,
He's got like
Adams.
the
Oh my
best
God,
wide
how did we
receivers.
let that happen?
He drafted. He got.
Oh my God, he's got Edelman.
Oh, Howard.
Okay, so let's
Oh,
go down the list here. We've got Dak Prescott, which he also has Ben
He's a good
Roethlisberger.
fantasy quarterback.
His
Yeah.
flex is Edelman.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? How did that happen?
Because
Like,
everybody's
there's
drafting running backs. And he went
Literally,
there and
this
scooped
right
them up.
here, between the three of these guys, there's a potential of 60 points, maybe
Yep.
70 per game.
I will say his running backs don't look
No,
amazing.
not
But
even.
if
like-
Fournette plays, though, like
If
if he could
Fournette
stay,
plays-
he could
Listen,
stay on the
I don't
field.
care what anybody says about Fournette. I had him the last 3 years. That dude ain't doing shit this year.
Yep.
As long as he gets.
Every fucking year he goes high.
That's
in
true.
the
He is
draft.
only projected to score one touchdown.
I'm not a Fournette fan either.
Every single year he is projected to score
David-
and do really well.
David
and then he
Montgomery,
doesn't.
though, he's a low key good pick because he's a rookie this year. And
Did Bruce know that though?
no, he 100% has no idea. He thought it was like
He
Montgomery
was
Ward.
picking top of the board
Like,
until
Montgomery Ward, isn't that like a store?
yeah.
See, what I think is going to hurt Montgomery though is that they've got Tariq Cohen.
Yeah.
Tariq Cohen's going to be the pass.
So
catcher.
what Jordan Howard did last year for the Bears is going to be
It's gonna
David
be
Montgomery this
Danny
year.
Montgomery, yeah.
I'm so upset about this.
okay,
Where
so,
did he get Edelman?
So
What-
we've-
what
okay,
round
Probably
did he get
somewhere in
Edelman?
the draft.
So we haven't even mentioned. So he's got Devontae Adams, Julio Jones, and
Shut
Julian
up, babe.
Edelman as the starting wide receivers.
with Larry Fitzgerald.
That's not a good pick. That, don't
and
don't even tell me that
Crowder.
it is.
Darius
Crowder,
Geis.
I could see Crowder.
Darius
Let's just
Geis
say
was
it's
out
as
all
the
year last
backup
year.
wide receivers, though, those are some solid ass bench
No,
wide
yeah,
receivers.
yeah. No, I'm not arguing.
And
with
look out
you,
for the
but
Browns defense to just go absolutely bonkers this year.
I agree wholeheartedly.
They're-
I'm fucking
fully.
pissed about this team.
Deeply, I agree.
I'm extremely pissed
Let's
about
just
this.
be happy that his wide receivers aren't actually getting to throwing the ball by their quarterback, though.
Yeah.
I do think though. I think his running back core isn't solid.
OJ
I think
Howard.
that could be a- that could be
OJ
an
Howard's
issue
going to
with
get
him.
a 75-yard touchdown in the first week. Everyone's going to be like, "Oh my gosh, is this his year?" And then he's not going to play the rest of the year.
Yeah, tight ends look pretty meh.
Devonta Adams is a fantasy god, but he is not very talented. He only is good because Aaron Rodgers is his
Why does this
quarterback.
guy look like
That's very true.
Like the cover of an Airhead wrapper? Like
Delaney Walker, I don't know.
I can't take it. He looks like a VeggieTale.
I'm gonna
character.
give this honestly. I'll give this one an 8. strictly for the wide receiver core.
I mean, probably a 7 for me.
I'm going to give it a 6.9.
His quarterbacks worry me. Neither of them are good, solid.
A lot of his team worries me.
Dak is a good fantasy quarterback
He's a
because he
good
doesn't
middle of
turn
the
the ball
road.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he also didn't score any points.
yeah.
It's
So,
true. Big
But
true.
if Elliott doesn't
Big true.
play, we passing the ball more, and we're
or running it
we're
himself.
Not, yeah, and we're not sure if Kellen Moore is going to really
His
what-
team
what kind
is
of
not
off-
deep.
offensive scheme.
Like
we're
if
gonna
one
run.
of his players gets injured at all, he's putting in Kalen Balaj. No,
That's true.
that sounds
Well,
like something you do from.
What worries me about his team is the same
or
thing.
Darius Geis.
The same
Look at this
thing,
guy.
honestly, that worried me about Josh's
This guy's got
team.
more wrinkles on his
And
forehead than my ball sack does. Jeez.
Kalen Balaj, if you're listening,
I feel like with his team, he doesn't have a whole lot of players that don't have strings attached. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Devontae Adams is a badass wide receiver, but
If
Aaron
Aaron Rodgers-
Rodgers has turned into a glass statue.
Yeah.
Julio
So-
Jones also spent like 7 weeks without scoring a
What happens
touchdown
Yeah.
when you
last
break
year.
your collarbone, man? It's just it doesn't heal
well,
well.
and the way that he plays, like it's just hard on his body, and he's getting to that point where his body can't recover as well as it could.
Thank God. I hope he does. Hate that guy.
You just hate anything that I like.
I hate that it looks that way, but
All right, and Ben Roethlisberger is going to go off for 55 points 2 weeks out of the year, but only
Then the
if he
rest-
is on the bench.
Yeah, only when you have him benched.
Yes.
look at
because-
him. I mean, he just screams rape. Like,
No, I think that's his victims.
No.
very true.
He's ranked
job.
as the third QB. Man, we need to get
What has happened to the NFL?
like I always say, Roethlisberger best and worst QB depends on the play.
He is
Could be in the
projected
same
to
draft.
do
Also
3
a-
times worse than he did last year.
He's a turnover king, though.
He is.
He
Yeah,
throws
that's true. Look at
so
that.
many interceptions.
Yep. Almost half.
16.
Over half he's projected this year to have
Oh.
over half the amount of interceptions.
And he also has James Conner as his running back, which I would rather have like a blind dog as my running back.
Something with no arms.
Yes.
Would cause less fumbles than
Just
James
shove
Conner.
the ball up my ass and let me go.
Yeah, I don't like Connor. Who ended up with Connor? Was that Roger?
I think Nathan.
I
did.
think
Nathan?
Nathan got
I
him.
would have.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
would have taken him.
So that's the thing. Connor, for some,
Michael,
He,
refresh that page.
he puts up fantasy points, but he does not put up good
points.
game-winning stuff.
Oh,
Draft
draft
is
gone.
ended.
Draft is over. So who won? Who won
I
the draft?
think you did. Josiah.
Points wise, yeah, Josiah, you won
Kiss of death.
Yep.
by a pretty good bit. What did we give Bruce, by the way?
I think it was a 7.5.
I think we gave him an F.
I was
gave-
gonna say 6.5.
I gave him a 7.
I'm very
I gave him a
close.
7,
Don't
so
worry.
it's
So we'll call it a 7.
Yeah.
Give it the ranks over here.
So
Joe.
we got Josiah topping it out with an 8.5,
Yeah.
followed by Daniel with a 7.5,
Dabs in Spanish.
and then
Who
there's
finished last and second to last in the league last year?
Yep.
there's 4 teams with 7s, and that's Nathan, Brittany, me, and Bruce. And then we have Michelle with a 6.7. We have Josh with a 6.25 and Roger with a 6. And then bringing up last place, we've got Jess with a 5.5.
Which was generous.
I don't know.
It was very generous.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Jess has got progressively more drunk throughout the night, but she's
Has
been
she?
sipping on this Coke. Like, there's no alcohol in it. She has no excuse.
I'm just fucking wasted.